Okay, Di, you're good to go.
I thank you. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Diversity, Equity, Inclusion, and Belonging Committee. The date is December 10th at 6 p.m. I just have a quick remote script I'm going to read. Pursuant to Chapter 2 of the Acts of 2023, this meeting will be conducted by a remote participation. No in-person attendance by members of the public will be permitted. The Diversity, Equity, Inclusion, and Belonging Committee is allowed to meet entirely remotely so long as reasonable public access is afforded so that the public can follow along with the deliberations of the meeting. Members of the public who wish to view the live stream of this meeting may do so by going to Northborough Remote Meetings on YouTube via the link listed on the agenda. This meeting will not feature public comment. Each vote will be taken by roll call vote. I'm going to confirm member access. So when I say your name, if you can confirm that you can hear me and be heard. Mitch Cohen, liaison, select board.
Hi, Mitch Cohen. Hello.
Mary Ann.
That's me. Hi.
Cynthia.
Good evening, everyone.
Mary Alexandra.
Hi, yes, I can hear you. Good evening.
And Deidre.
Hi, good evening.
Sierra.
Hi, good evening.
And
to Sarah, by the
yeah, thank you. Ashish, can you hear us?
Yep, Ashish. Hi, good evening, everyone.
Awesome. All right, and we have Steph Bacon, our new town administrator, is also with us via phone. Steph.
Hi, everyone.
All right, and I'm Diane Wackel. I'm the assistant town administrator. All righty then. Well, thank you everybody for joining us. It's been a little bit since we've met. Actually, since I've been the assistant town administrator. I know some of you have met when Becca was here. Is there anybody new here this evening to the committee who hasn't met yet?
This is my first meeting since I've been the select board's liaison.
Okay. All right.
And I think Mary Alexander, you had your hand up. Is this your first meeting?
Yeah,
Yep.
This is my first meeting as well.
Okay, well, welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, so according to the agenda, I don't know if Miriam, you want to conduct the meeting as the chair?
You can conduct this meeting for now. I'm rusty.
Then yeah, this is my first. That's right. We'll get through it. We'll get through it together. All right. Well, I thought according to the agenda, maybe the first thing we can do is reintroduce ourselves. It's been a little bit. Again, my name is Diane Wackel. I'm the assistant town administrator since about it was a year in September. And so I will be the staff liaison to this committee. Mitch.
Hi, I'm Mitch Cohen. I'm on the Northborough Select Board, and I'm the current chair, and I'm the Select Board's liaison to this committee.
Okay. And Miriam, you are the current chair, right?
Yes, I am.
Okay. You can just say a little self.
Yeah, I can do a little self-introduction. I'm Miriam. I've grown up here in Northborough. I just finished my master's actually today.
Congratulations.
Oh.
Congratulations.
I know. Crazy. What else? I've been here in this committee since its creation, and before it became an official committee as well. So yeah.
Thank you. And Cynthia?
Hey, everyone. You're welcome to call me Cindy, Cynthia, all of it's good. I get called all of it. And my pronouns are she, her, and hers. And I have lived in Northborough for God knows, I don't know now, 23 years or something like that, I think. And I am the proud mother of 2 young adults now and a grandmother.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And I identify as a disabled person and also within the LGBTQIA plus community. I can't even talk this late and I need coffee. And I am a vigorous disability rights advocate, and particularly in the field of K through 12 education. And since we last got together, I actually completed my executive MBA too. So I did it in Suffolk. I don't know if you did yours.
Congratulations.
So it's contagious,
Congrats.
people. It's contagious. Good to see you all.
And Mary Alexandra?
Good evening. My name is Mary Alexandra Molina. I have lived in Northborough for 18 years now. I have two boys, one who graduated from Algonquin last school year, and one that is currently in 8th grade at Milliken. I completed my master's, 2 years ago now, from Tufts University, the DEIJ program there. And I currently work as an executive assistant to a superintendent in the Fitchburg Public Schools. And so I'm very excited to be here and to be a part of this committee.
Welcome. And Deidre?
Hi, everyone. I'm Deidre Writing. I have lived in Northborough for, oh gosh, it'll be 10 years in January. My kids, I have twin boys. They are freshmen at Algonquin right now. I started with Miriam on the original DEIB before we had the B in it committee. And that was a really great experience, and I'm looking forward to working with you all. I also sit, so the school district has a similar committee that brings together people from Northborough and Southborough, stakeholders, including parents, teachers, administrators, and students. We meet monthly-ish, so I like to try to bring information from there into this committee as well, and vice versa.
Thank you. Sierra?
Yeah, my name is Sarah. I actually have lived in Northborough since 2010 and I have three boys. One of my boys also graduated from Algonquin last year. The oldest is 21 and my youngest turned 16 today. So he's he's a sophomore in my company. I actually work 100% remote because my company is based in Alaska, so I go there quite a bit to Alaska. So yeah, belong to it's a telecommunications company, and I actually serve as the senior director for the community development for the company.
All right, thank you. And Ashish?
Hi, everyone. So I've lived in Northborough since 2010. Two girls, adults now. One's assistant DA in a neighboring county, and the other one's finished her biochemistry and biology major, and looking for a master's program in something called, I have no clue what it is, but apparently it's called bioinformatics, something to do with genes and all the information that they carry. So that's what she wants to do. And I'm a practicing kidney disease specialist in the community and have been for about 20 years now. And very happy to be on this committee for the past couple of years. So thank you for having me.
Thank you. All right. Steph, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, yes, of course. I'm Stephanie Bacon. I'm the new town administrator as of November 4th. So I'm a newbie. I'm excited to meet all of you. If you ever need anything, please feel free to reach out. Thank you, Diane, for revitalizing this group. And yes, I'm just very happy to be here.
All right, thank you. I did add on the agenda election of chair, vice chair, and clerk, election of officers, or reorganization, if you will. Because it's been a long time, I'm not sure if people still want to act in their current role. Is there any desire for, like Miriam, are you happy to continue as chair, or would you see if anybody else may be interested?
I'm happy to continue if somebody else is interested. I'm happy to move it over to them.
Okay. I'm looking for somebody that can really kind of lead the meetings, lead the efforts, who has, the time, the commitment, who can do that, and I'll work closely with them. Miriam, I would love to have you stay on as chair if you're willing to do that. Anybody else have any thoughts on that? Or does anybody want to make a motion?
Sure. I mean, if Mary, you would like to step forward, I'd be happy to make a motion to nominate Miriam to be the chair of the committee. Is there a second?
I will
Second.
second, Mary.
Everybody seconds.
I would, but I can't vote.
No. All right, there's a motion was made by Cindy, seconded by, was it Ashish? Okay,
Yeah.
by Mary Alexandra. All right, we're going to take a roll call vote to have Miriam continue on as chair. Let's see, Miriam,
Aye.
Cindy, all right, Deidre.
Aye.
Actually, can you say, yep. Okay, Deidre,
Aye.
Mary Alexandra,
Aye.
Sierra,
Aye.
and Ashish.
Aye.
All right, and I'm Diane Wackel, and I say aye as well. All right, and then who was the vice chair? Oh, Ashish.
That was me, and I think we've such excellent members with such intense background in DEI. I would be happy to step down and for one of them to sort of help us in this position as vice chair if they're willing to.
Okay. Does anybody have interest in being vice chair?
Can you tell us a little bit more about what the role entails?
So
As a vice chair.
really what we're looking, especially where this is kind of a newer revitalization, so we're looking to for somebody to lead us on our future goals, initiatives, when the committee wants to meet. I would be happy, I know Becca served as clerk. I would be happy to continue as clerk in that role. So I would be responsible for posting agendas, drafting meeting minutes for approval, coordinating meetings. The vice chair, I think, typically would work closely with the chair, especially in the event that the chair is not available. I think you'd be great at it.
Yes, I agree, and you described the role pretty well. But it'll be nice if we could revitalize the committee and in the interest of our community. As you said, we haven't had a meeting in almost a year now. So this would be a great opportunity for someone who's, keen to step up, involved in these areas already and already contributing to the community. Thank you.
Thank you.
Would you be open to, as far as helping out in terms of what that role entails? Because again, we haven't had a meeting, and even before, I think that the meeting was pretty sporadic in terms of when
Right.
because of scheduling and stuff like that. I'm happy to step into that role. I just have a lot of stuff in terms of travel and all that. If that's okay with folks, I'm okay. I'm happy to step into that role.
Okay.
Or maybe we can do like a full vice chair. I don't know, half and half. If that's if anyone's open to that.
I think I've seen that in committees. If if you have somebody like Mary Alexandra, if you were interested, and Sierra, you can kind of both continue. Like I said, I'm looking for definitely some leadership on the initiatives. I have a lot on my plate, and this is an important one, so I want to make sure that it continues. And so I really need somebody that can be committed. But I think
It might help if we talked about what is our plan for this year, to so people have a better scoping of how much effort that would take. You know, I am always happy to help if we have an open spot filled for someone. You know, I just know that I think that it would be helpful if we kind of had that framing.
I agree.
And also I think it's just worth mentioning in case folks don't know, the whole like Robert's rules and all that sort of stuff can be somewhat cumbersome or hard to learn. You know, we probably all have resources we can share with each other about that piece of it. So even though somebody might step into a position, that we can all help that person to succeed.
Absolutely. Yeah, and we can decide, I want to have a preliminary discussion tonight about what our future is, what we're looking to accomplish. You all did see my cover memo where it kind of gave a little bit of history of the past initiatives. And so you have that. And then I think the future meeting schedule, if we could, you know, whether we meet monthly or every other month, if we can pin down a certain date that people feel like they can commit to, we can meet either in person. We have the ability to meet in person, or we can continue meeting via Zoom. We could do both. We have a hybrid situation in the select board meeting room here at Town Hall, so we can discuss those things. Okay, so who would like to act as a vice chair? Is there a motion?
Happy to co-chair with Sierra or co-vice chair with Sierra if she is willing to do that. And I'm willing to make a motion to have Sierra as the co-vice chair, if that's okay.
Could I just ask a question? I might not be following Robert's rules here, so just kick me into the chair. But how would that work? Because usually, like, if the chair is not available, then somebody else steps into that spot and sets the agenda, runs the agenda, all that sort of stuff. So if there's two people though, how would that work? Just so I can wrap my head around it. Not opposed to it, just want to put it into my head.
I think that's a good question. I would say maybe if one of you want to be the vice chair, and then the other can just kind of inform
An alternate vice chair, maybe. And
yeah.
Or it could be even something as simple as like you flip a coin to decide who's going to run the meeting. Like whatever, it's fine. I just want to kind of put some context to it. I'm totally in support of it. So.
Yeah, and I'm happy to be the alternate vice chair because I do travel quite a bit for work, and so I just want to make sure that I'm not committing to something that I'm that I can't fulfill it. So I'm happy to be the alternate vice chair, and that way, having that.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So why don't we move? I can move that Mary Alexandra will serve as vice chair. Sierra will serve as alternate if needed.
I second that motion.
All right, thank you. Roll call vote. Miriam?
Aye.
Cindy?
Aye.
Mary Alexandra?
Aye.
Deirdre?
Aye.
Sarah?
Yes, aye. Sorry.
Ashish?
Aye.
And I, Diane Wackel, aye. All right, thank you. Congratulations, Mary Alexandra.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And I will, myself, I will make a motion to serve as clerk. Is there a second?
I second it.
All right. Roll call vote. Miriam?
Aye.
Cindy?
Aye.
Mary Alexandra?
Aye.
Deirdre?
Aye.
Sarah?
Aye.
And Ashish.
Aye.
All righty. So we are reorganized, and the next thing on the agenda is a preliminary discussion on the committee's future goals and initiatives. I don't know if there is anybody who can speak to, maybe the last couple of meetings, what you were working on. Is there anything that, or should we just kind of start anew?
So I think thus far, like our meetings started with us organizing, talking to different people in town. I know we had one with, I can't even remember right now, but like you mentioned in your memo, yes, we organized those meetings, and I think those, and then we also at some point had a virtual meeting or a community-wide virtual meeting where we had people come in and share, their notes for what they'd like to see this committee do or move forward with. I think that was really beneficial as well. I think at this point we can kind of discuss where we'd like to see the committee go, because I think I would say that's kind of where we were at. I don't know if anybody else, Deidre, I don't know if you remember what our last meeting or, the last couple meetings, what we were thinking about. Yeah, if you want to speak to that.
Yeah, I can say that the recommendations that were made to the select board back in January was to create this committee. So that's been accomplished. We recognized Juneteenth as a local holiday. We renamed and recognized Columbus Day now as Indigenous Peoples Day. The staffing and recruiting and training portion, we did complete a full classification and compensation study, and all the job descriptions were updated. That was hard to believe. I think that was maybe at the very beginning of this. I think it's been at least 2 years, maybe 3. The fire station project, I'm not sure if you all know, but that was approved, and we are moving forward with that. And then I think, there is mention about community engagement and a sense of belonging in the community. It looks like you spoke with Community Affairs Committee. They hold a number of different community events, and it looks like in addition to those, there were some suggestions for others. The town and school, partnership is important. I think should continue to be important. And then the ADA accessibility evaluation and transition plan. I believe that was done as well. I have to follow up with our DPW director on that. So I think, you've got a lot accomplished. So I think moving forward, what we need to focus on is, what's important moving forward. Where do we want to start? Anybody? Cindy?
So I might not have the most recent list of all the community events, right? So let me preface it by saying that to start. But the last list of community events that I looked at were noticeably absent for celebrating disability. So in particular, it comes to mind, and I know we sort of want to like space them out, right? Like you don't want everything like back to back to back. But for example, Massachusetts was the first state in the entire country to give the right to education for students with disabilities. And that anniversary happens to be September 1st of 1974. So, we just celebrated a big milestone this year. Similarly, in the month of September in 1973, we passed as a nation the Americans with Disabilities Act. So September seems to be a great month to sort of center some sort of focus around there. Just giving some other options here. October nationally is National Disability Employment Awareness Month, is the month of October. It'd be lovely if we could have like our businesses participate in something like that. celebrate something like that, internships, job shadowing, something like that. And if those dates weren't convenient, the IDA was signed into law on November 29th in 1975. And so that's November, late November, that tends to kind of run into other types of celebrations. So it's not necessarily the best time to have something. And the ADA was signed into being on July 26, 1990. And of course, in the summertime, there's different ways to celebrate disabilities as well in the summer. So I'd like to have the committee have a conversation at some point in time about adding one or more opportunities to celebrate both students with disabilities and adults with disabilities in two separate ways, so that we can be inclusive of that profile of people.
Excellent, thank you.
Sure. Probably more dates than you ever wanted.
You listed a lot of great dates and milestones, Cindy. I wanted to remind everyone that another thing that we did as a committee was start a Facebook page. And it's been a great source of information even for me as people are posting things. I know that we don't post as often as we used to, but I think there are a lot of members, and it's a nice way to spread the word, especially if we're gonna do something.
Okay, yeah, I can look into that to see who has access to post on that, let me look into that. It's already up and running? The Facebook page?
Yes.
Okay. Awesome. All right, anything else? Mitch?
Thanks. A couple of things come to mind that the board might want to, this committee might want to take a look at. Well, one thing I do want to point out that wasn't mentioned earlier, because I guess it wasn't in the formal recommendations, but a little over a year ago, the Board of Selectmen officially became the Select Board, which I think is certainly consistent with the mission of this committee. I was very, very happy to be on the board when that took place. One of the things that I've always been interested in is what religious and cultural activities can we celebrate as a community that we're not already celebrating. We just had the Christmas tree lighting this past Saturday. Later this month, on the 30th of December, we'll have the Hanukkah menorah lighting. So those are two, certainly large religious observances that we celebrate together. There are many other religions and cultures that we have in Northborough. I don't know enough about them to say, oh, we should do this, we should do that. But among all of us and our contacts, I hope we can come up with a few more things. I think that would be really, really good to include even more in those events. Hopefully not a touchy subject, but I know I've received some emails that some people in the community are concerned about changes that may occur next year at the federal level, that, and how they might impact residents of Northborough. And, what can we do to help prepare for and respond to that? Is another thing that I wanted to bring up. And then I sent an email out to this committee earlier today, suggesting that maybe people see part of a school committee meeting that took place last week. Every couple of years, they wrestle with the school calendar and religious observances and things like that. I have a particular strong opinion about that, where, if you watch the public comments at the beginning of that meeting, you'll get to see what that is. But possibly at some point, this committee could provide a recommendation to the school committee on how they might want to take a look at that. And as my opinion is expand the observances to respect additional cultures besides just the Christian and Jewish calendars.
Now, let me ask you, does the school committee is in charge of the school calendar?
Correct.
Okay. So would we be stepping on any toes if we were to do that? They have their own resources.
We could provide a recommendation. We have no authority, and the select board has no authority to dictate that. That is under state law up to the school committee. And there are 3 school committees that have to work together to make that happen. They are interested in hearing from others in the community, and I think this committee may have some input on that. As I said, I'm just the board's liaison, responsible for channeling things between the select board and this committee, so I have no vote, but that's certainly something that comes up and gets a lot of people anxious every couple of years.
Okay. Thanks, Mitch. Anything else?
Nothing
I
from
may,
my end.
Sorry, if I may, in terms of the school committee, I also belong to another group, Northborough Moms for the Muslims, and we're working with the principal and the superintendent as well, and we've been having conversations with them with regards to incorporating those the awareness and stuff like that during Ramadan, as well as and all that for for testing, for MCAS, for some of the days following to those days. And so we are working on that front as well. And so I don't know whether this might be I can always include that conversation, what we had in terms of the meetings and stuff like that. We do have every other month we meet with Greg and the school committee. So we have that established already. And then we also meet with Sean Bevan from the Algonquin regarding the sports and stuff like that, just to accommodate students who are fasting and all of that stuff, trying to be a little bit more aware of, the timings for the clubs or sports, etc. So
That's great to hear.
Yes, and we also need to, I know that town meeting was held, right? Was it this year's town meeting? So
It was on Passover, first day of Passover.
Yeah, so we need to take a look at the town meetings and other related groups as well. Okay.
And on that topic of town meeting, if I may place an item on the agenda to discuss at some point in our committee.
Yep.
That we have no way in which people with disabilities who are homebound can participate in the town meeting. So there are many residents who are actually medically fragile who can't leave their home. And I think we really need to find a solution to that.
I have looked into that in the past. Unfortunately, state law requires that if you have an open town meeting, that all members be physically present. Even during the worst of COVID, there were no options for remote participation for open town meeting, which is what we have in Northborough. For representative town meeting, which is a different town form of government, they did provide some temporary options during COVID for those communities to be remote. I don't know if those have continued or not, or if they'll be made permanent.
Right. So I think if we can look at what our recommendation might be, given that constraint.
Yeah.
And personally, I don't think our recommendation should be to exclude people with disabilities. So I know you're not saying that, Mitch, but that's what the law says, right? And
right.
I think that having even if we have a unified belief and express that we recognize that we have people at home in these situations and that we do want them to be included and, that sort of thing. I think that would be really helpful.
Yeah, one option might be to request that our state legislatures sponsor legislation for opening that door more than it is now.
Because we're not the only ones with it, right? Yeah, we're not the only
ones. Oh yeah, every town struggles with that. We receive comments every year, every town meeting. Hey, how can I vote when I'm at home? And it could be due to a disability. It could be simply a childcare issue or any number of reasons or business travel or anything else. And it would be great if we could find a way to include more people in the town meeting process.
Okay, excellent. Okay, well, I think so. So moving forward with some of these ideas, Miriam, are you able to work with me and maybe the vice chair on some specifics on how to move forward.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that totally makes sense.
Yeah.
You and I and our vice chair can totally meet and talk more about yeah, what we want to bring forth.
Yeah, I think I like the attendance at town meeting is probably a good timing, since before you know it, we'll be at town meeting in April. So that's a good one to start with. Okay. Anybody have anything else? Kind of before we move on to the future, like, let's talk about how we want to meet, how often, what works for everybody while I have you all here.
I think that Mitch said it very gently, and so I might say it a bit louder, what he may have been trying to communicate. But I have great concern for the most vulnerable citizens, in terms of whether they have, that is a category of, you have a different, a gender identity, a unique gender identity, or you have a unique immigration status, or what, for vulnerable people. And a lot of phone calls that I get, in my business as a special education advocate are focused not necessarily these days on how to make education better, but how to protect friends and family, and how to protect themselves, whether it's the parent or the child. And I think that we would be providing a public good if we were to provide a point of education, leadership, information, resources, something like that to our community. If we had a resource information response, position statement, whatnot. I love what we have in terms of our purpose, that we affirm as all residents, business owners, etc., are free from discrimination, disrespect, bigotry, other forms of macroaggression, hatred, and oppression. I think that if we find a way to unfold that and address those most vulnerable populations who are sitting up at night right now, worried about their friends and family, I think that being proactive about that instead of reactive about that, I think will help overall. So I just want to, Mitch, your words were powerful, and my feelings about this are deep, and I just wanted to join you in that chorus. I'm sorry, I'm getting choked up because I just know a lot of people who are really impacted by this. So.
Thank you. All right, and I'll reach out to you, Cindy. We can talk some more. Okay, anything else?
I'd like us to think more about how to begin to address the belonging aspect. I know that we did a survey, so we can revisit those results as a starting point. That's been a while, so I don't know if that's something we want to revisit. And then I know that the school districts they have like a storytelling initiative, which I think is a nice way to get to know other people and perspectives. And I think it's a little bit it doesn't draw everyone at this time, so we'd have to really talk about how are we able to engage some way of people getting to know others without yeah.
Is it called Story Bridge?
Yeah, Story Bridge.
I actually just applied. I wanted to be in part
Really?
of it. Yeah.
The first one they had that I attended was so moving, and just it just goes to show you, look at someone and you would never know the parallels or the things that you could learn. It's so powerful, and I'd like to see more of that.
So it's called Story Bridge. Great. How about a meeting schedule? What are you all thinking about? Would you prefer to meet Zoom, or do you think it would be more effective to meet in person?
I prefer Zoom if possible. I have an immune condition that makes me very susceptible to being sick. You know,
Well,
I can come in person if I have to, but I do all my business remotely for that reason.
and we do have, like I said, we have hybrid capabilities, so you would not have to be in person. I'm happy to do either. Are there any other preferences?
If the Zoom and virtual meetings improve our attendance, I would favor, having the option open to everyone. But I'm not averse to coming in person when needed, for example, bi-monthly meetings. It looks like Tuesdays worked for everyone in the past, and seems like most of us accepted today too.
Mhm.
So perhaps bi-monthly Tuesday, whether it's the first or the second or the third, that doesn't matter. I guess everyone can decide.
Okay, so the Tuesdays at 6 p.m. tend to work. This one happens to fall on the second Tuesday of each month. That seems to work. Mitch, that works for you? You have library?
I have library trustees at 7, so I'll need to go in about 15 minutes. That's always the second Tuesday. And as you know, Dia, on a lot of committees, the Peasley Building Committee has been meeting on the first Tuesday of a couple of months. That's not written in stone yet. Also at 7 o'clock, so 6 o'clock works well, with the understanding that, I would have to depart, but I'm not, as much as I want to be a big part of this, I'm not critical to it. I'm not a voting member. So what, I would suggest that as a group,
Okay.
figure it out. Survey monkeys or something like that are sometimes ways of sorting out what dates and times work for people. But I'm just one person. To any Tuesday at 6 o'clock for an hour is fine with me, and I am always happy to see people in person, and perfectly fine meeting by Zoom.
Is there
Okay.
any way that you could also provide some other times, like 5:30 as opposed to 6 o'clock, so that we can have a little bit of time? Because sometimes it's difficult for me to meet because of activities with kids and stuff like that. So if there's any way, that could be, it'll be a little bit better in that sense.
I'm sorry, what was that last sentence, Sarah?
I think if you can accommodate, maybe instead of 6, maybe at 5:30. I don't know what people's schedules are. Maybe just have that as an option as well, because I know that certain times, certain days, I guess, certain weeks, there's pickup and stuff like that. So it's just a little bit hectic.
I mean, we could certainly say in that time frame. And actually, Angie, if you can hear me, can you pop on your camera for a minute?
Wait, did you say Stephanie? Oh.
I just wanted to introduce Angie Souden to everybody. She is amazing, and she's going to be working closely with you all in terms of scheduling meetings and posting agendas and stuff. So you'll probably get emails from her. But I just wanted to be able for you to put a name to the face.
Hello, everyone. Nice to see you all.
Hello.
All right. Well, so what about, do you think we can agree on the next meeting would be January 14th is a Tuesday, and we could do 5:30, or we could do 6 p.m. Can people do 5:30?
I need to amend what I said earlier because I made a mistake. The second Tuesday at 5:30 is I typically go to the Council on Aging meeting, which I'm also a liaison to. They don't meet in December, which is why it wasn't an issue here.
Right.
Again, that's my problem, not everybody's problem. First, third, and fourth Tuesdays aren't that issue.
Are we doing it every month or every other month? Because I think every other month would work a little bit better than every month, because it's December right now.
I would suggest we start monthly.
Okay, that's good. I have to, okay, I have to travel, and so sometimes I won't be able to make it in terms of the every month. And so just, just put it out there as far as that goes.
Yeah, that's fine.
How many people do we have on the committee? How
There-
many is a quorum?
There are 9 voting members, so we would need 6 to make a
6.
quorum. Yeah.
5.
I checked with Andy, and he said half of 9 is 4.5, so you'd round
Yeah.
to 5 plus 1 is how he worded it to
Yes.
me. I can double
Okay.
check that because I
Okay.
asked right before the meeting tonight. I was like, I just want to make sure, because that
Okay.
was my question. Was it 5?
Yeah. Yeah. Because like a 5-member board, the quorum is 3.
Yeah. So I'll double check with him.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So does that date work for everybody?
Unfortunately, I'm actually committed to presenting at a webinar that evening.
That's the 14th you're talking about, Di?
Yeah.
Yeah, it would not work for me with the understanding I'm just a liaison, so don't make decisions too strongly based upon my presence.
I don't
Yeah,
know
it's not going to work for me. I have
works
to
for people
travel.
or not, but
Can we do the third Tuesday, which is the 21st instead? Would that work better for everyone?
I could.
Good with me.
Yeah.
Good with me too.
I just want to try to make it consistent.
Yeah.
So we could do the 3rd Tuesday. It would be January 21st would be our next meeting. Does that sound good?
That works for me.
For me too.
That works for me. I can do 6.
Okay. All right, let's move forward with scheduling. I'll have Angie send you all out a reminder to just mark your calendar for Tuesday, January 21st at 6 p.m. And I'll maybe reach out to some of you individually who have had some ideas, and we can expand on that for the next meeting. Sound good? Okay, anything else?
Yep.
Although I don't think we put that on the agenda, but if there's nothing else, does somebody want to make a motion to adjourn?
I make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Okay, Deirdre made the motion. I'm sorry, who seconded?
Mary Alexandra
Motion
motioned and I
made.
seconded.
Okay, roll call vote. Miriam?
Aye.
Cindy?
I
Mary Alexandra?
Aye.
I almost said Angie. No, Deirdre?
Aye.
Sarah?
Aye.
Ashish?
Yes, I.
Okay, all right. It's 6:53. Meeting is adjourned, and we'll be in touch. Happy holidays to everybody. And
Thank you.
please reach out to me if you have any questions or if you need anything.
Thank you. Happy holidays, everyone.
Happy
Well,
holidays.
Happy
Thank you.
holidays.
Happy
Thank you so
holidays.
much.